Yo, 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 yo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning back in once again for another episode of Logik's View. Tonight, we have an important show. I'm hoping everybody having a beautiful, blessed day. Wednesday, March 12th. Sun is shining. All glory to God. Thank you, Lord, for what you've been doing in our state, in our nation, and around the world. Mm. It's a lot going on tonight. We got a gubernatorial race interview. Uh, candidate. We interviewing candidate Anthony Hudson for governor. Um, Many of you may have heard of him. Many of you may have not. But regardless, we gonna have an interview with him tonight. It has been a lot of allegations and rumors being spread, starting to surface all around the beautiful internet. So um, I've been hearing them, and many people have. I've been in contact with Anthony Hudson. We have an interview set up for tonight, and I'm waiting for him to join the live stream. He's going to be driving during this live stream, traveling home from an event. And we got about an hour worth of time allotted to conduct this interview. Um, it's been a lot of talk going on, so we got to address it. Um, so as we wait, I'm gonna just uh, talk briefly about this topic, um, and then the purpose of this interview is to for me to be unbiased. I'm gonna try to be neutral. I'm gonna try to be fair, and give him an opportunity to introduce who he is to the people who may not have heard of him, and then I'm gonna ask him some questions, and we're gonna address the allegations as well. So hopefully, it's a very informative segment where people can learn, people can hear from him. The people who may have concerns, they can get addressed tonight. So share this video out. This is an important interview for the people across Michigan. We got an important governor race. We also got the Attorney General and Secretary of State and other positions as well up for grabs in 2026. So um, we got to be fighting on the ground, united, and we have to support a good candidate for each position. So it looks like he may have just joined in. Let me see. Can you hear me, Anthony?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Good, good. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you, my friend?
Not bad, bro. Not bad. I'm not a professional with this technology, so bear with me as I try to get everything situated. Um, I do got us live right now. I'm hoping everybody can hear us properly on the different platforms. Um, I just got started right before you got on. So if anybody listening and watching, can you give us a thumbs up if y'all can hear me, and if y'all can hear Anthony, let me know in the comment section. Can't really see my Facebook messages right live, so I'm trying to make sure everybody can hear and everything live stream. How'd the event go?
It went really well. We actually had a lot of people show up to sign our petitions. Got to shake hands and take pictures. A lot of kids who came
And
up
if y'all
uh,
It
wanted
went
to have
really
their
well. We actually had
so yeah, we got to have a lot of pictures taken with the kids and answer some questions with the parents, and they're all excited to see us in the parade on Saturday.
Nice, nice. All right. And for those of y'all who just tuning in, we having a live interview tonight with uh candidate for governor, Anthony Hudson. Um, Many people might not be aware of who he is. Many people are. And tonight we giving him a chance to introduce himself. And we got allegations and rumors that we allowing him to address live and answer any questions that I get in the comment section as well. Um, so he wants to clear this stuff up so he can continue to move forward and if any and to address all our concerns. You know, I have concerns, other people should have concerns about every candidate, and this is a beautiful opportunity to address them. Um, so I'm just trying to make sure everybody can hear us. Don't got a lot of action in my chat comment right now, but whether people watch this now or later, it's gonna be up here. So, all right, we can jump right in. Let me hold on. Let me double check, make sure. How far of a drive you got till you get to your destination?
I'm headed home for the evening. We've got about 55 minutes before we get there.
Okay.
Then the chaos begins with kids and homework and dinner and all that good stuff.
Yep, I know how it is. I got my oldest daughter watching my son and my grandson while I get this out the way. This important interview handled, and wife's at work, so I'm getting signs that people can hear us well. So we gonna jump right into it. Um, First, I want to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself and who you are to the people who may not be familiar with you at all, and just give some background on who you are and why you're stepping up to such an important position.
Yeah, I appreciate it. My name is Anthony Hudson. I'm originally from the state of Texas. I moved to Michigan 13 years ago to be a father to my kids as my ex wife and I were going through our divorce. And started out, as a truck driver here. I've had my CDL for 21 years and have done a lot of driving all over the place. And was lucky enough to find a job here in Michigan. Um, Put my nose down, get to work, take care of my kids, take care of my child support, my responsibilities. And as time went on, I found myself in a position to be an owner of a small trucking company. And I jumped all over it. And for 8 years, I ran my own business. We were pretty successful in our field. Um, a lot of things are happening in this state that I don't agree with, even when I was an employee of another company, as far as like state income tax. I don't agree with the overtaxation of the hardworking people, how they put the burden on us to pay their wages and pay for their corruption. And last year, I decided to throw my name in the hat for U.S. Congress in District 8 in Michigan, which is Genesee County, Saginaw Bay City, or Bay County, and Midland County. And we did okay, for the first time running a full campaign from start to finish. We raised about $136,000. We had about a 238% success rate, getting our name out there, getting our message out there. And then we lost the primary on August 6th, unfortunately. Uh, but then we took a few months off, and a lot of people were responding to us, emailing us, texting us, calling us, asking us to run for governor. That we had a big platform that really resonates with the everyday average citizen here in Michigan. And after a few months contemplation, we let the general election come and go, and then we made an announcement at the end of December that we were going to put our hat in the ring for governor and see where it takes us. And it's kind of taken off from there. We've gotten a lot of support on social media, had over 1.3 million views on our social media outlets like TikTok and Facebook combined. And that's not including X or Instagram or YouTube. So the number is actually higher than that. But for the most part, people have been very supportive. They ask a lot of questions, things that concern them. We're able to answer those questions, and we're able to come up with policies that are actually going to help all of us, whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican or you're an independent. It doesn't matter what side of the political aisle you're on. We have policies that will create a better quality of life for all of us. And of course, anytime somebody puts their name in a race like this, there's going to be people that are going to target you and bring up accusations. And the one thing I'm most excited about tonight is to have the ability to address some of these accusations and set the record straight. I firmly believe that we have nothing to hide from. So whatever you want to ask us this evening, we will be more than happy to explain and get that out for people to understand where we're coming from and why some of these things happened.
Okay, okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, I plan on asking some tough questions. We've been getting some feedback and questions. I want to I like what I've been hearing, but we have to be firm in our research and our discernment, and we have to be diligent. So I don't intend on this to just be a softball Joe Biden type interview where it's easy questions. The people need the truth, and they need their concerns addressed, and this is that opportunity to do so. So I appreciate it as well, and I've been getting a lot of feedback that others do as well. Appreciate being able to hear from you versus all the rumors. So I want to ask, what type of political or leadership skills do you possess, or what makes you feel qualified to take on this type of position?
Well, one, I'm an American citizen. So I look at the qualifications to run for governor, which I meet every single one of them. I went through the filing process. We filed our statement of organization. It was accepted and approved by the state of Michigan. And as an American citizen, I live basically based on the bad decisions that are made on my behalf in Lansing or in the federal government. Whatever these representatives or these elected officials, whatever decisions that they make are not truly a full representation of the people. And I feel like sometimes if you want if you want change, you got to go after it. And Gandhi even would back that up with his with his famous quote: "If you want to see real change in the world, you have to be the change you want
Hmm.
to see." And that is really the motivation for us to stand up and make a run at this, because the people of Michigan deserve better. They deserve integrity. They deserve honesty and accountability. And a lot of that we're going to show tonight in this interview. A lot of candidates probably wouldn't take this interview. And if my records are straight, I reached out to you a couple of days ago and asked about doing this, and you can confirm that with your audience. I wanted to do this because it's the right thing to do, and that shows leadership. That shows that we have someone that's not going to run for the truth and is going to stand their ground and be held accountable, just like we intend to hold the representatives accountable in Lansing. If we if we really think about it, if we withheld every person from running for political office who had a pimple on their background, then Lansing would be a ghost town. As a citizen of this state, I have never proclaimed to be perfect. In fact, the Bible says we all fall short of the glory of God. There's also a story in the Bible with the disciples that says, uh, anyone without sin shall cast the first stone. And if you recall, the disciples dropped their. I I've been put in like bad time.
Uh-oh,
Are
hold on 1 second. You might be passing through a choppy area because I'm getting a little uh interference. Can you hear me? Hello?
I'm here.
Oh yeah, I was getting a little interference. I don't know if he was passing through a choppy area, but
No,
you
I'm
was
driving over the Zilwaukee Bridge outside of Saginaw.
okay. All right.
But
Yeah, you were saying how every disciple dropped their or everybody around dropped their stones.
They dropped their
And
stone and they
then,
walked away because they knew that they were not innocent. They are not free of sin. We've all been there. No one is perfect in life, and I have never claimed to be perfect. I've always claimed to be an average, blue collar, hardworking American citizen, a good father to my kids, and loyalty to my family and my friends. And we all make those same type of statements in our own lives. But I find it funny how a few individuals want to slander my name because I have a past. And I think a lot of those allegations are misrepresented. They're not 100% factual. And I'm looking forward to the opportunity to clear the air on what really happened in my past when I was growing up, when I was learning to be the man I am today.
all right, yeah, we're gonna get right into it. And I can relate because I ran for state representative in 2022. I don't have political experience. I have a lot of wisdom and knowledge on how this game is played, but I stepped up to the leadership position as well. I got a
Yeah.
past and a history that I put out there and let people know. None of us is perfect, so I can feel that. You know what I'm saying? But people have the duty to scrutinize and
Is
you
that
breaking up. I
political experience?
go,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
yes, sir.
Okay. What people need to understand in the political world is that political experience equals failure. Every political official that we've ever elected has failed us one way or the other. So sometimes, in my opinion, political experience is a bad thing. You take this governor's race right now, all of the names in this race, except for mine, are filtered politicians, meaning they run for one seat, they win, they serve, they run for another one. And that's the establishment's way or the uniparty's way of keeping their power. They want to keep the same names in office as long as they can because those people will push that specific agenda. And that agenda does not equate to what the American people want or what the Michiganders need here in Michigan. So political experience, in my opinion, equals failure every time.
Yeah, yeah. I think we can see that and we can relate to that as well. And ain't nothing wrong with supporting somebody who doesn't have a lot of political experience or directly involved. We see Trump got in there without direct involvement and has been having a huge impact as well. Um, I want to try to keep to moving along because I know we only got a certain time limit and we got to get into. I got several more questions and we got all these allegations to get into as well. Um, so now a lot of people, we on guard. We don't want to fall for the same old. So people is on guard. They scrutinizing. A lot of people want to know about your presidential run and why you ran for Congress and president and now are running for governor. What do you have to say to people?
Well, well, I'm an American citizen. I have the right to run for whatever office I want to run, and there's not anything anyone can do about that. It was my decision to try and make a home run out of a bunt, if I can put the analogy out there. And we filed the paperwork with the FEC. It was approved. We were one of literally over 1,000 people running to be president of the United States. I actually had a lot of traction. We had my name was mentioned in over 85 million social media posts. We had interviews at the border when I went to the border, saw firsthand what the southern border looked like. We made trips to Kentucky when they got flooded and helped those people get resources that they needed. We made a trip to Arkansas. We were doing a campaign rally there, and we all had to take cover because there was a tornado that hit Little Rock, which was not very far from where we were. We went down to Little Rock the next day, and we were cutting down trees and helping remove debris from people's homes, restoring garage doors that had been ripped out. We were helping the American people. And that's what a leader should do. You should lead by example, not by luxury. And we were getting some traction. And we thought we might have a chance to make a name for ourselves in that run. And when it came time to register in all 50 states as a presidential candidate, we were only allowed to register in 40 states. The other 10 states refused to allow me to register. They don't even allow write in candidates. They said you had to be backed by a party, meaning you had to have the endorsement of a party. Well, we weren't going to get the Republican nomination, so we withdrew from that campaign and fully endorsed and supported Donald Trump. And I want the record to be clear that I joined the presidential race early in August of 2022, and Donald Trump did not join that race until November of 22 or October of 2022. So I actually got into the race before he did. And once we realized in January that we were not going to get the electoral college votes because of the 10 states, we decided we were going to drop out and put our focus and our support in Donald Trump. So that explains that. But anyone can stand up and run for any position in this country if you are a citizen of this country, a natural born citizen. You meet the age requirement, and you're a registered voter. We met those qualifications, so that's why we decided, you know what, we're going to try and we're going to see if the people are ready to stop talking in the shadows and start standing up for what they believe in. After we dropped out of that race, we had a member of the GOP party contact me from Grand Rapids and said that Dan Kildee was resigning from the 8th congressional district seat and urged me to get in that race, that it would be a really good seat to have and we could force a lot of change in our district in the 8th congressional district. So we thought about it. We filed paperwork. Again, didn't know what the state would say or the FEC would say. They accepted, we got approved, and we ran start to finish, from, I believe it was February, late February, early March of 2024. The presidential run started in 22, and I believe it ended in 23 when we couldn't get registered. And then in February or March of 24, we got in the congressional race and ran it to its entirety to the primary on August 6th. And we didn't get all the votes we wanted, but we made a name. People know who I am. People understand the policies and that I truly represent the best needs of the people, not the corrupt special interest or the crazy, agendas that are being led out of Lansing right now. So we felt like even though we were the underdog, we made it through. We were a viable choice on election day. Our name was on the ballot and we had a chance. And that's what we were hoping for. And we succeeded. There was no way we were losing in that race. Yeah, we lost the count, but we were still winners because we were there on election night as a choice for people to vote for if they wanted change. And as stated earlier, we took a break from that. And due to the overwhelming number of emails, calls, texts, um, responses on social media, we decided that with an open seat for governor, we would take on the challenges of a statewide race. And here we are.
Okay. Okay. Um. So I know, and here in Michigan, we deal with a lot of corruption, on both sides of the aisle, all the way down to the grassroots. We've dealt with grifters and fake candidates time and time again, and many people want to, scrutinize and, dig into people who sound good and who say all the right things to make sure we ain't getting fooled again. So again, the purpose of this interview is to ask tough questions and give you a chance to introduce yourself and let people decide for themselves what you're saying and if it resonates with them and if they want to support you or not. So we got a lot of corruption here in Michigan. I'm gonna talk about that more and more. But do you have a team that's been working with you when you say we decided on this or that? Is it a team that worked with you from campaign to campaign, or is it a different team that has been helping you with each campaign? Or do you have a team assembled, or do you plan to assemble if elected, or if you win the primary? Can you give people information regarding that? And
Yeah, we like any candidate, we had campaign staff on all both of the prior races. The presidential race, we had volunteers from all over the state helping us, or all over the country helping us. I'm sorry. For the congressional race, we had a localized team in the district helping us get signatures for our petitions, helping us raise money, helping us schedule our events. And now a lot of those people that helped with the congressional race have stayed on to help us with our uh, gubernatorial race. We've also added a few other people in prominent positions that are giving excellent advice to this campaign, strategizing our moves, our events, all the way down to our logos. We're doing a full revamp of our logo. Yard signs are going to look different. Our messaging is different. And it's all based on these people that we have helping us. So I want to give them a lot of credit for standing up, believing in the ideas, believing in the future that we see for Michigan, and really just being diehard supporters of what it is we're trying to do as a unit, so that we can get Michigan on board, so we can get back to pure Michigan, not this solar, wind, corrupt Michigan that we all live in today. So yeah, there is a team involved. That number is growing every day. We have over 200 people across the state circulating petitions as we speak right now, which is phenomenal. It's a grassroots movement. We're not paying a consulting firm to go out and get our signatures. We're getting them ourselves the organic way, which is the right way to do it. So without their without their support and their tenacity to get out there and door knock, it wouldn't be happening. And the fact that we have this many people is a testament of its own to say that there are a lot of people that support what it is we're doing, and we're going to be here till the end of the run.
okay, yeah, I know it definitely take teamwork to make the dream work. I got a taste of it running my little state rep campaign, so I know you definitely need volunteers and a team. Financially speaking, do you have a financial team that's figuring out ways to raise money? I know running a statewide race costs a lot of money, way more than a district race or a smaller race. So, and all the campaign material and lit and website and media, everything costs money. How have you been uh, carrying that cost and weight? And do you have a team in place moving forward? Because it takes so much money to run.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have some financial people that are helping us. The website that we have is a website that we purchased when we were running for Congress. It's a domain that I own, and I'm allowed to make the changes to the name and all of that within that domain, which is exactly what we've done for the gubernatorial run. We didn't have to buy a website, we didn't have to buy a domain. We already owned that, and we stripped it down. We've reformulated it, and we've put it up so that it imitates exactly what our messaging is. So we already had that. We just were able to make changes to modify and update that information. We are talking to a team of investors that are very interested in fully funding our campaign. We're working on that weekly with those guys. I cannot name names. I will tell you that I did not sign an NDA because I don't believe political figures should sign NDAs. I'm just choosing not to expose them at this point in time until once we have the deal done and the money put in our campaign accounts. So we do have a financial team. We also have something that no other candidate would even dream of doing, and we're soliciting a $1 uh, donation campaign, asking the hardworking people of Michigan to donate $1. There's 10 million people in this state. If a million people stood up and donated $1, which is less than a candy bar in a vending machine or a pop at a convenience store, we will eventually have the funding that we need to run this campaign. It makes sense. We're not asking for millions of dollars from hardworking people who are already overtaxed and underrepresented. $1. We all have a dollar. We've all spent $3, $4, $5 on a bag of cookies that we don't need. This is something that would go to a good cause, that would help us continue the fight and take back Lansing so that we can save you thousands of dollars every single year with no property taxes and no state income tax. So we are willing to say $1 a piece. That's it. That's all we're asking for. We have investors that will donate the larger portions that we need to make sure that we can travel the state, uh, host events, cater those events, marketing. We have investors that will help us with those things. But right now, everything that we've done, we've raised over $3,500 on the $1 campaign, if that tells you something. And then because I budget well with the money we have, we've been able to go to all the events that we've had already this year and go up to Claire today. We're going back to Claire on Friday. We're going to Detroit and doing 2 interviews with CBS Channel 7 in Detroit and Channel 2. I think it's Fox 2 in Detroit tomorrow afternoon. We have a Lincoln dinner already scheduled for April in Sanilac. We have GOP county meetings set up to go and speak at. And we're raising the money slowly but surely, and we're getting it done. And I've learned throughout the course of my life that if you truly put it in God's hands, and if that's your path, God will make sure you have what you need. And He's come through. It is a blessing that people are donating and contributing because they want the same thing that I want, and they know that a average guy will probably do what he says he's going to do over any politician that's currently elected. And that's our goal, is to deliver results. And so far, the $1 campaign is delivering results, and it'll all be on our first financial report that we file coming up in the next couple of months. You'll be able to go back and see when we got our first donation, how much our donations have been, who's been making those donations, and what we've spent them on. We're keeping very good track of all of that. And I know there's an allegation that we were taking money in 2024 to run for governor. And I'll tell everyone listening right now that that is false. We got our first donation on January 17th, 2025.
Yeah.
We didn't even organize our committee until December 10th. And because we organized a committee on December 10th, the state asked us to do a financial report for the last quarter of 2024. And of course, it's all zeros because we didn't take any money and we didn't spend it this campaign until January of 2025.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And we gonna get into them allegations coming in next. I wanna before we get it right into those, because we about a half hour in already, so it's moving along nicely. We're gonna get into some of these specific allegations, but I want to give you a chance before we do that to explain to the people what's the difference between you and somebody else, some other candidate, or one of the other candidates, or someone who knows all the right things that we want to hear. Um, what separates you from the rest, or what makes you different than a candidate who just says all the right things?
My platform is unlike anything any of us have ever heard from any political candidate in this state. You're going to have candidates talk about eliminating state income tax, but they're scared to touch the property taxes. We have candidates that are afraid to open the box or think outside the box and be bold enough to come up with ideas that will truly generate money in pocket for Michiganders. We have that bold platform. We are willing to cut the government by 28% across every single department in Lansing. We have an initiative to eliminate MDOT completely by the end of my first term. MDOT is $8.1 billion with a $5.3 billion increase on top of that for actual road construction. Somebody needs to explain to me why we have county road commissions and every township or city in the state has a division that repairs city roads and local roads and a county to repair county roads. And then we go out and front $13 billion for a department that is 37% administrative. That is wasteful spending. We have airplanes with MDOT, 5 of them that we pay for. We don't need airplanes. We don't need pilots. We don't need runways. You can get in any car in any part of this state and drive in any direction to find out what roads are destroyed and need attention. We need to stop funding the CCP. We need to stop spending money in Taiwan. We need to stop with the wind and solar initiative and start taking every spare penny we have and putting it into the 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 reconstruction of our roads, because they're getting so bad that the only thing that you can do is tear them up and redo them, because this patchwork and this band-aid initiative just doesn't work in the state of Michigan. And if we don't do something now, we are going to lose the ability to patch and fix our roads. We have to do it right. We have to do it the most cost effective way. And we have to make sure that we get on top of it aggressively so that we can actually make a dent in what is wrong with our highways, our bridges, our infrastructure. And I'm the candidate that's talking about it. These other candidates are going to tell you the same old boring political speeches that we've all heard. But when you come to one of my speeches, we dive into how we should fund education. We dive into how we should eliminate the wasteful spending, what departments we need to cut completely, and how we're going to replace or reallocate funding so that the taxpayers in Michigan can finally have a break. We need a break,
Well,
literally.
and uh, and that's the thing. A lot of that stuff sound good, and people want to hear and need to hear specific details of how you plan to do this stuff. But we got to also incorporate the establishment here in Michigan, which is well ingrained, and pushback and opposition, the political operatives and attacks and all
You,
that. It's going to be a
you can't
task.
focus. You can't focus on the pushback from the establishment. We, the people, outnumber them 100 to 1 or more. We have the ability to erase them from the political scene. We have the ability to vote them out and replace them with good people that are determined to do the work. The other thing that I can tell you 100% for a fact, when you listen to these other candidates, they're working 2 or 3 months out of the year. They're elected officials. They don't work all year long. I still drive a truck, campaign, and come home to be a father to my children. I still work, put the time in to supply money for my family and my needs. And then outside of that, we're adding 4, 5, 6 hours a day campaigning, making phone calls, putting up videos, traveling to different events. I am right now the hardest working man in this race for governor, and that needs to be understood, because no one else is that's running is putting in the amount of hours that I'm putting in or doing the amount of physical labor on top of campaigning like what I'm doing with my regular job.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot of work, and the people see that and appreciate it for sure. I know last campaign, that last election, Ryan Kelly was out here all across the state. Everybody appreciated his hard work and tenacity and drive. And I don't know if you've been in contact or familiar or associated in any way. It's a different topic, but the point is the hard work don't go unnoticed. We need hard workers in there, but it's gonna be a like even the last race, gubernatorial race was full of shenanigans. So the people of Michigan are on guard, and we doing our due diligence, and we trying to prevent the same old uh from happening again. So
I hear you.
um
And we need to not focus on the past. We need to recognize the past, and we need to focus on fixing the future. That's why our campaign slogan is Michigan is broken and I can fix it. There's nothing any of us can do to change yesterday, but we can prepare and work hard to change the outcome of tomorrow. And that happens right here in the present, right here today. And that's what people need to understand. I know what you're going to ask me about. Let's get into it. Let's get this stuff out on the table, and then let's move forward and continue to do what President Trump said and fight, 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 because that's what this is. It is a fight. And people are going to People are going to make their judgments, and that's between them and God. Their judgments have nothing to do with me. It's not going to deter me. I'm not going to drop out of this race. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stand firm and stand tall, and I'm going to fight for the Michiganders in this state because, as I said earlier, we deserve better. And now I think people are demanding better. And it doesn't matter what happened yesterday, it's what matters tomorrow counts. So whenever you're ready, ask away.
All righty, all right. I was just browsing through some of my comments on this. I can't see my Facebook comments right now. Sorry to all the people on Facebook watching, but I'm gonna try to go through and ask some of the questions um that I've been getting. Now, um, one individual has been doing his homework and have a lot of questions. We also have some social media. There's some people putting in some hard work, claiming to be trying to expose you and save the Michigan people from a grifter or an imposter or a fraud. So you can't see my video right now. It's a website or a TikTok channel that we're going to discuss, and it's titled Anthony Hudson Exposed. It's also a news report, a video that I didn't hear about until earlier today, about an AI generated video on MLK. We're going to display and discuss that. And also, I got a list of about 30 questions from one person. Um, a lot of them you addressed when we spoke. You addressed a lot of these and squashed those out, but there's some other ones that didn't ask you or were unaware of, and I'm gonna try to get to it. A few of those as well. I know time is ticking, but these are important questions that people um need addressed.
Right.
Um,
And I like how that guy on TikTok is also the same guy on Facebook who likes to hide behind my picture and not even expose his real name or his identity because he knows what he's saying is wrong. Otherwise, come clean. I'm here. I'm here to discuss these things. How come he gets to hide in the shadows and pretend that he knows something when his complete goal is to smear my name without revealing his identity? That to me is weak. And I don't care if he's listening. You're weak if you hide behind a fake profile, a fake picture, and then you throw up a bunch of false allegations that you have no clue as to what they are. So thanks for trying to make yourself famous, but it's not working with me.
For sure, for sure. Hopefully, a lot of people across Michigan are tuning in, so this can get addressed and handled once and for all. It's some, uh, it's some people working diligently to on this social media, so we gonna get into it. Let me see some of these questions. All right, I'm sure the domestic violence is something we talked about. If you wanted to talk about that history in your rap sheet and what's your side of the story revolving all these court cases and domestic violence accusations and um this topic as well. Anything surrounding that topic.
Yeah, the domestic violence case that it keeps getting brought up is really what people need to understand is I was the victim in that case. Truly. When I came home from a convention in Grand Rapids, I caught my girlfriend having sex with another man in my house, in my bed. I walked him to the door, came back in, told her she needed to pack her things and leave my house. I even told her I was going to leave for an hour and then come back and hopefully she'd be gone. When I came home, the cops were at my house. She had filed a domestic violence charge. The police were there taking pictures of her and her body and all these things. And the police officer comes up to me and says, I'm not going to arrest you because I don't believe a word she's saying. There's no marking on her body whatsoever. Anyone that wants to accuse me of this, please find those pictures and put them up as evidence that she was not touched because they're out there. Went to court. over the incident, I yelled and screamed at the judge that I was innocent to the point that the judge threatened me with contempt of court. The judge did not want to try that case. So he told me, if you plead guilty and take a deferred sentence, I will give you 12 months probation, and then this will not be on your record as long as you complete the probation. And I argued again. I'm innocent. Why should I have to go through probation? Why should I have to do any of this when she committed adultery and refused to leave my house and then tried to file a false police report against me? And I got to plead guilty. He said, you can plead whatever you want, but that's the best deal you're going to get. And I didn't know the law like I do now. I should have been held in contempt. I should have gone to trial and plead my innocence and be proven innocent of this case. But in my mind, a year, 12 months, piece of cake. I didn't want anything to do with the woman. If any of you have ever walked in to find your spouse having an affair, you'll know exactly how that feels. I thought it was
Oh
going to be a
yeah,
walk
they.
in the park. I thought it was going to be a walk in the park. On my birthday in 2019, the prosecutor's office called me and said the no contact order had been dropped, that I could go home. And I said, can I get that in writing? Because I don't trust you. She said, yes, absolutely. I was staying in a hotel. She sent the fax. I got it. I went home. The person who I'm not going to name her name, I'm sure you all know if you read the report. Um, she said she was going to Florida to visit her family for Christmas, and she was leaving on the 17th. I said, okay, 2 weeks. I can live in my house for 2 weeks. She can go on her way. While she was in Florida, she reinstated the no contact order on December 20th, I believe. And due to the holiday, Christmas being on a Wednesday that week, the 20th was on a Friday, I believe. The letter did not go out in the mail till the 22nd. I did not get it until the 27th, which was a Friday, 2 days after Christmas. That letter said the no contact order had been put back in place and you're not to have contact. And I said, that's fine. I don't want nothing. I don't want to talk to her. But I had already violated on Christmas Day when I sent a text message that said, Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Hmm,
So when somebody's out there stating that I violated my probation twice, you're a liar. I violated it once by sending a normal, mature Merry Christmas text when I wasn't supposed to, but I did not get the letter until 2 days after Christmas, and I knew at that point I had already violated. At that point, I was arrested for violating probation. While I was in jail, she was not in Florida. She was in Traverse City. She went into my home and she stole everything I owned: living room furniture, bedroom furniture, flat screens, jewelry, money out of my safe. She even took my 2019 GMC Acadia and went down to the bank and forged my name on the back of the title and refinanced it into her name. She stole
oh my
almost
goodness.
$100,000 from me over a false police report and the fact that I said Merry Christmas, not knowing that the no contact order had been reinstated. And there was nothing I
Okay.
could do about it until October of 2020 when my probation expired. When that expired, I went down and I filed a police report with the Michigan State Police, and that woman is currently in the Genesee County Prosecutor's Office for 7 counts of felony fraud for everything that she did while I was under that no contact order. This
Now,
entire
is
thing,
this
this entire
is
thing was a setup.
is that your ex-wife?
Nope, she was just an ex-girlfriend.
Okay, so you've been married twice.
I've been married twice, once when I was in Florida and once to my kid's mom.
Okay, and do you have court cases involving both of them, or one of them, or just girlfriends, or
No,
um?
my ex-wife and I, we had a child support case because when I first came to Michigan, I had every other weekend and I had to pay child support, which was deducted out of my paycheck every single week. So the allegations of me not paying child support are also a lie because that gets deducted every single week from your paycheck. Since then, my ex-wife and I, or I fought the court system and I was granted 50-50 custody of my children in 2020. No child support. There is no child support. So someone that says I owe child support, you're wrong. I do not. If the judge thought that I was a threat to my children because of a domestic violence case or a false police report, he would not have granted me 50-50 custody of my children. All the judge said was if you move close enough into that school district so your kids can ride the school bus, I will grant you the 50-50 custody. And I moved less than an eighth of a mile away from my ex-wife. And somebody's out there saying, well, you got 242 uh, appearances on your child support. No, that's not true either. Those appearances are everything involved with my divorce from my ex-wife. You have, your pre-trial hearings, you have your calendar calls, you have appearances that you have to make, then you have cases where my ex-wife violated the divorce decree and I brought it to the judge, took it to the friend of the court, and every single time that we show up for something, it's attached to that court case. So yeah, 242 appearances in 13 years, yeah, that's about right, but they're not all child support. It has everything to do with my divorce and trying to get my ex-wife to follow the divorce decree, which is supposed to be the rules of the divorce. And she still doesn't follow them today, but I'm done arguing with that. I'm done fighting with that. I have 50-50. I don't have child support. My kids are happy. They're healthy. They love being in my house, and I'm happy with that.
Okay. All right. I know time is ticking. I don't know how much time you got left. I want to continue to interview and have more questions asked, but I don't know how you looking on time. We almost uh to an hour so far.
Yeah, we
How
got
you
like 10
looking?
minutes. I got about 10 minutes before I get home.
Okay, okay. So I got maybe we can have another interview in the future, but for now, it's claims about your veteran status. When did you join the army? What do you have to say about the rumors or the allegations regarding your service? Do you have a DD 214, or did you complete your
I think
acquirement or
I
assignment?
I think it's a disgrace that anybody wants to challenge someone who has served our armed forces first and foremost. If it was an easy job, everybody would do it. But there's a lot of people that don't want to serve the country. They don't want to put their life on the line, and for that, I take the most offense to. In 1999, I joined the United States Army National Guard. For 2 years, I drilled with the National Guard because I could not get orders to ship out for basic training. There was a backlog. There was issues with getting those orders. It didn't happen, but it counts towards my service time because I took an oath in front of the flag that I would uphold and defend the United States Constitution and this country from foreign and domestic enemies. I drilled with them every it was 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks in the summer. And then when 9/11 happened, I went to my recruiter and I said, what can I do to expedite my departure for basic training? And he said, right now, the National Guard is a mess, but you can go active duty Army and we can ship you out immediately. So we processed the paperwork and I joined the United States Army on 9/13/2001 and left within 3 weeks after that for Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Yes, I served my country for a short period of time. And yes, we do have a DD 214. If somebody can't find it, that's their bad research. But yes, we have a DD 214.
Okay, okay. All right. All right. Moving right along.
And if they want to know, I was in the National Guard at 77 Whiskey, which is water purification. When I left for basic training, part of the expedited release is because I changed my MOS to an 88 mic, which is truck driving, and that they had a big need for. That was one of the reasons I was expedited quickly once I went active duty Army, if they must know.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Hey, that's what we're doing. Letting the people hear from you, hear both sides. Um, Someone just messaged not too long ago asking about four domestic violence cases, all in different states.
Not a thing.
Not true?
I am not the only Anthony J. Hudson in this country. So whoever's doing some digging to try and tie me into somebody else's problems, thank you, because it's not true.
Okay. All right. Well, I know when when Michonne announced Alfonso Wallace, as soon as she announced his name, I began researching and digging, and other patriots did too. And he claimed that uh he wasn't the owner of this TikTok that was titled Alfonso Wallace. And I told him, maybe you're not the only Alfonso Wallace, but I can share what I want to share. If that's not you, you should be able to clear that up easily. So
Absolutely.
people people on the ball, people researching, and it's good because we have been falling for the okey doke far too long, and it's time to change that, and it starts with
Yeah.
educated
There's
citizens.
someone out there saying that I had a dating profile that said Michigan man for you. The guy said he was 56 years old, 6 foot, 180 pounds, brown hair, and no kids, lives in Lansing. Just to address this, I'm 6'2". I haven't been 180 pounds since I was a sophomore in high school. I currently run about 235, 240. I have no hair. What hair I have is gray. I'm 48 years old, and I have two children that I put up on a pedestal to everyone that I know. And lastly, I have never lived in Lansing. So stop trying to tie me into something just because you want to smear my name. If you want to know, ask, and I will tell you. But to tie me to some dating app, some guy said he was in the Air Force. Good for him, but it's not me. I never joined the Air Force. My uncles did when they were kids, not me. So that
Okay.
kind of stuff is what really upsets people and is offensive, that they want to try and take every single thing that they pull up and try and tie you to it. That dating profile had no picture on it, had no name on it, just Michigan man for you, which when that when we looked at the date of that profile, I was already living with my girlfriend for over a year and a half. It's not me. So again, false allegation.
All right. All right. And um I know you also wanted to we during our discussion you explained about how you had broke your neck or your back, and the reason why you had to file for bankruptcy. A lot of people been asking about
Yep.
your addresses and unpaid bills and filing bankruptcy, and I know
Yep.
you cleared a lot
I
of
can
that up, but
I can address that right now. In 2016, I was involved in an accident involving a semi truck, and I broke my neck, C4, C5 vertebrae in my neck. I had to undergo a very, very tough surgery to repair my neck, where there's now a cage, a fusion in my neck from that surgery. The doctors took me out of work for 2 years. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I couldn't be out of work for 2 years. So yes, I filed bankruptcy. That bankruptcy only lasted, if they really want to do their research, do the entire research. That bankruptcy lasted for like 6 months, and it was done. It was dissolved, over. But I needed help. I was in an accident. I broke my neck. I was on unemployment. I was on cash assistance. I had a bridge card. Once again, I am an average citizen. I've been down the road that so many people have been on since COVID, and I've had to endure those struggles, and I've had to rely on the system to help me. And probably one of the most traumatic points of my life, which was breaking my neck due to a rollover with a semi truck. And but that doesn't that doesn't make people feel good about the fact that I'm running for governor. But it's life. Sometimes it happens. Um, so had to file bankruptcy. Not ashamed of it. I used the
right.
system, got off the system. So what? Does that mean that I can't put together policies that are going to end your property taxes or your state income tax so that you have more money? Does the fact that I filed bankruptcy after an accident that could have easily killed me, does that disqualify me from ever being a politician? No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. Because if it did, it would be part of the requirements listed by the state that you must pass to be a candidate, and it's not. The credit cards. So after the lawsuit from the accident where I broke my neck, that's when I found myself in a position to own my own trucking company. And we started that company in 2017. And at one time, it was one truck. At the highest point, it was five trucks. And during COVID, Gretchen Whitmer took me out of work. She said I was non essential. And if I continued to work, I'd get a ticket for $10,000 per day that I operated. COVID was a very bad time for all of us. All of us. And
Hmm.
when it was over, I was able to find work here and there, but nowhere near making the money that I was making before. And if you look at the dates of these two credit cards that I have to go to court for, they're 2021, right in the middle of COVID. Well, Anthony, why didn't you pay your credit cards? Well, I was put out of work by our governor, something I vow to never do to any Michigander as long as I'm sitting in Lansing. I will never tell you you're not good enough, that you're not essential, that you can't go to work to take care of your family. But because I was discriminated against as being a business owner that in her mind was not essential, I took those two credit cards every month that I got a bill and I mailed them to the attention of Gretchen Whitmer in Lansing, Michigan. And I begged her to pay for them since she took my right to work away from me. And I stood my ground. I didn't back down from any of it. I said, you took me out of work. You closed my business. You pay my bills. You have no problem spending taxpayer dollars to go to Europe or to the Middle East or to open an office in Taiwan. You can pay my credit cards. But people want to make a big deal out of this. I am going to court in April to resolve these issues and explain to the judge this was during COVID, Your Honor. This was during COVID when I was taken out of work and I lost everything that I had. I lost my business. I lost my income. I paid off all my other credit. I had 17 credit cards during that time. These are the only two I didn't pay because I gave them to Whitmer. 17,
Right.
and I'm not responsible with my money because I didn't pay two out of 17. I exhausted my savings account, which was about $80,000, and I exhausted everything I had in my personal checking account, which was about another $30,000 to pay off my debts. These two credit cards with Capital One did not get paid, so I sent them to Gretchen. And what people don't understand about the credit cards is that I had had those credit cards since like 2011, never missed a payment, never was over my limit, paid them off numerous times. But the fact that I stopped paying them during COVID when I didn't have income, that is the focal point of somebody smearing my name.
Okay. Okay. And I know time is running out. I know we did discuss. You said that our people been asking about your campaign finance reports and donations and things like that. I know we out of time right now. You did
Oh,
say
I
that.
pulled over. I pulled over because I don't want to end this yet. My campaign finance reports are spot on. People are trying to smear my name for the FEC. If you want Logic, I will send you my FEC finance reports. Every single one of them from 2024 says they were accepted and approved by the FEC. And somebody out there is going to say, oh, well, they don't know if they don't see it. If you see it,
Mhm.
they see it. And they accepted and approved every financial report that we submitted. And I'll be more than happy to email those to you so you can put them up on your show and show the date and time that they were submitted and that it says your report was accepted and approved. I'll be more than happy to give that to you.
Definitely, definitely. And that's the type of transparency that people not only want but need because they always say follow the money to find out
Now
what's going on.
there is no money with me. I've turned down money from special interest groups and lobbyists because I will not be bought by a corrupt system to push their agenda. Our campaign finance reports for the governor's race, is 100% spot on. We filed our report at the in January for the end of 2024, all zeros, any money, and we hadn't had any expenditures. Now,
Hold
since
on, hold on,
January
hold on, hold on.
17th, we've
One
raised
second.
about $3,500. Every receipt is documented. We hand it over to our treasurer about 2 weeks before the report is due. And once that becomes public, I encourage every one of you to go pull that report and look at it and see if the numbers don't add up. If they do, I kindly ask you to drop the accusations of me not following campaign finance laws, because we do and we have. That's all there is to say. We have, because you could get in a lot of trouble if you don't, and I don't need that.
For sure, for sure. And those are available at the end of the first quarter. Is that correct? Or when will um you say you file January for the end of last quarter or 2024? Hello? Uh-oh, I might have lost
I
you.
can't hear you, Logic.
Oh, can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? I can hear you, but I guess you can't hear me.
I can't hear you.
Uh-oh. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if I clicked something. I'm not sure what's going on right now, but thank y'all for staying tuned in. I can't see the
Hello?
questions that's Yeah, can you hear me? I don't know
Hello?
if he hit the mute button or not. I can hear him, but he can't hear me. Um, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe he can call me back. I can still hear him. He can't hear me. Y'all may be able to hear him as well. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, there you
Um,
are. I can hear you now.
okay, I could still hear you, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect now.
Okay. I don't know if I hit a button or if you hit a button.
Yeah, I don't know, but glad I got you back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And this has been really good. You've been answering and addressing a lot of stuff head on, and I know a lot of people is happy to hear this and see this. We going hopefully we can have more interviews as the race unfolds. Before we get you out of here, I gotta ask you about this video because I just got wind of it, and I wasn't aware of it at all. But I don't know how I feel about this, man.
Well, you
but
can not like it like you can not like it like I didn't like it. Um, I had a consulting firm that was handling my social media, like all politicians do or all candidates do. They were located out of Florida. Um, they had access to my TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, and YouTube. And their job, I paid them to put up my content so that I could focus on campaigning. And they put this video up. They created this video and put it up on TikTok, and I found it the next morning. I didn't find it. Somebody called me. Someone from my campaign called me and said, "Go to your TikTok page. What is this?" I saw it. I removed it immediately. It had like 320 views. Nothing. Um, I could put up a video right now. It'll get 1,000 views in 15, 20 minutes. This one had 323 views, I think. Took it down. It got put up on X. X, it went crazy. It had a ton of exposure. I had the New York Times, I had the Washington Post, the LA Gazette. I had a ton of newspapers and news companies calling me for an interview. I fired the campaign people and I put up a statement that I did not have knowledge of that post. They had been dealt with, they'd been terminated. Um, and I thought it was disrespectful on all levels. Then there was another post that I not only approved it, but I retained them and gave them a raise. That was the consulting company before I could get my credentials changed. I had to change the password and the login, and they had made that comment while I was in the middle of changing all of my passwords and login information on all my social media sites, and they were able to sneak that comment in. That's not my comment. That's not from me. I addressed it. I denied it. I had nothing to do with the production of that video. It was all AI. And even if you listen to my voice right now and you listen to the voice at the end of that video that says, it says something like, I'm Anthony Hudson, I approve. That's not my voice. That is an AI generated version of my voice. And we took it down as quick as we could. And still, it went all over the place. But that was not of my knowledge. I had nothing to do with the creation of that video. And part of me says I'm glad this happened because we need to address how serious AI is and how it can be used to manipulate things in bad ways. It's powerful. People can do things, they can say things, they can bring back John Wayne, Martin Luther King, they can bring back Gene Hackman. They can do all these things, create music without the artist. They can do all these things, and bad things can happen from that. So that is an ad that we did not approve of, and we made a very quick statement that that was not my product, that was not my content, and then that other statement came up right after that. So we apologized to as many people as we could about it, and we're doing what we can to try and stay away from consultants that handle social media and stay away from AI altogether because of what happened.
Okay, okay. So you saying the statement put out that was put out the same day, um, that wasn't your statement or it was regarding the video?
The
Because I'm
only
looking at
statement that was the only statement that was mine was the one where I said that I did not approve this video. I had no knowledge of the video. It was created by a member of the consulting staff that they had been fired. I don't know it verbatim, but I remember hitting those topic points that this was not our video. We did not approve it, and I thought it was very disrespectful. That was my comment.
okay, because in the video I seen it was from ABC 12 of Saginaw, and they put up that initial response saying a volunteer gave my social media credentials to one of his friends who then posted an AI video without my knowledge. And you denounced that one saying it was such a stupid and disrespectful video. And then they said 5 hours later, there was another statement put out. Um, are you familiar? Do you remember the second statement being put out saying, this one says,
Something
I have
about
been,
decided to retain them or give them a raise or promote them or something. That was not my statement. They still had my credentials and were able to log in and make that comment while I was, because I was at an event, so I didn't have time to change all my credentials right at the same very moment in time. That one I didn't get to, and this happened. So since then, all my credentials have been changed. I am the only one that puts up my content. I will be the only one putting up my content, and I will not trust anyone else, even if they getting paid to put up my content for me, because this happened, and this is a an embarrassment to the MLK name and a complete disrespect of his
mm-hmm,
legacy, even as a
mm-hmm.
civil rights advocate. So this is not something that I did or would have ever approved of anywhere. So we made our
Okay,
statement, and then the news picked up and said there's another statement where Hudson went back and rehired the campaign consultant or something of that nature. That's not my comment.
okay, okay. So yeah, that's good to clear up because that's extremely important, and that's how this defamation and slandering works. Especially when mainstream media is involved, it can do extreme damage to somebody's reputation. And when I just seen it earlier today, I'm like, oh, like
Oh, that
this
that
is
thing had national news all over it. I mean, it was on a couple late night talk shows. I was a rogue conservative candidate putting up a controversial video, and I didn't call any of them. I didn't want to talk to any of them because it
right.
wasn't my video, and I made the statement that it wasn't my video. But Somehow that last comment slipped in there before I was able to change my credentials, and they were commenting about that too, and I just left it alone. I wasn't going to grovel at the feet of the feet of the media, who did not want to cover me during my congressional run, but they want to cover me now because of this. I wasn't gonna feed into them like they're the high and mighty. We all know the media is corrupt as it is. I wasn't gonna bow down just because they were calling me, trying to talk to me. I made my public statement, and I stood behind my statement.
Okay. Nice. Nice, man. And it's good to hear your side on that because from face value, it's like, skirt. Hold on. Wait
Yep.
a minute.
Yep.
What is this?
And it's like I told you when you and I were talking on the phone. Not everything is as it seems. There's two sides to every story, and when you see something in black and white, like he pled guilty for a domestic violence, it doesn't tell you that I was forced to plead guilty because I was going to get contempt, of court, because I wasn't complying with the judge. I was coerced into pleading guilty and taking a plea deal because of my own failure. I didn't know the law. I didn't know then what I know now, where I could have fought that. I didn't even have an attorney in the room with me when I saw the judge that day. So, yeah, I was scared. I was nervous. I was upset. I was frustrated, pissed off. But the fact is, that woman was never touched. And it led to grand theft of my automobile. It led to identity theft. It led to internet fraud when she signed my name on the back of the title and submitted it to the bank. It led to bank fraud, defrauding the Secretary of State, false police report, and I forget what the seventh one is, but she currently has 7 felony fraud counts against her, and I'm just waiting to go to court over that because I was wronged in that entire process, and the law was used against me. And people need to understand that because it doesn't say any of that in a very bland black and white report from a court. It doesn't say that.
Oh,
But
yeah. Oh, yeah.
when she's found guilty, when she's found guilty, and that report is released, all of these people trying to smear my name with domestic violence, I hope that they will call me and apologize, because then they'll have it in writing from the courts stating that she did all this intentionally to take what I had, to get me out of my home and take what I had.
For sure, for sure. And everybody got a past in the history. You look at my criminal record. 20 years ago, I was a drug kingpin, living in the world, living in deception. Lord done turned my life around so much. So I know we over the time limit. I think this was an extremely informative video, and I appreciate you for withstanding my scrutiny and the questions that the people have to ask. I look
Man,
forward to having
you're
you
a great
back on.
guy. You're a great
Thank
guy, Logic. You are, and I told you I would give you this exclusive. I trust you. I like you. I've seen your shows, and you know I want people to understand that because of that domestic violence false charge, that was when I decided I wanted to stand up and do something politically to change the system, because no one should ever be forced to plea out of something that they didn't do or admit guilt to something they didn't do. How many times have any of these listeners been pulled over for speeding and they go to court and the courts plea them down to a parking violation, which is more expensive but less points off their license if you plead guilty to it? They're asking you to plead guilty to something you didn't do to take a larger fine and put yourself out there. That's wrong. That is wrong. That is not due process in our country. That's where the corruption's heartbeat begins. And I wanted to do something to change the system. Have I learned from my lessons? I have. And on a serious note, Logic, I didn't grow up with a father that loved me. I didn't have guidance from a man that I'm supposed to look up to. I had to fist fight my father when I was 13 because he slapped my mom. I stood up in that moment to defend my mom. God rest her soul. My father was out of the picture. When he was in the picture, he was abusive. He was an alcoholic. He was not a good example. I didn't have that guidance. I didn't have that upbringing like most people have. I've had to live life the hard way and learn from my mistakes. And I'm telling every one of you wholeheartedly, with an open mind and a clear conscience, that I have learned from the bad situations that I have been in on how to handle certain things and certain aspects of my life. None of it has anything to do with my ability to eliminate taxes in a way that will allow you to keep your paycheck and take care of your family. None of my past will stop me from being a leader in the state of Michigan. Nothing on my record that is not 100% true. I was arrested in 2007 for illegal use of the telephone. That I did do. I cursed out somebody for letting his dog crapped in my yard, and I stepped in it barefoot when I was mowing, and I called him up and cursed at him about having his dog poop in my yard, and he got intimidated, and because he's soft and weak, he let my words scare him, and he filed a charge. And in South Carolina, that is against the law. You cannot curse at someone on the phone. And anyone that's on this call, listening to this call, if you've never cursed at someone, you might as well hang up now, because you've all done it. You've all done it, and I own it. I did it. I own it. But everything else in my background is a product of, there are two sides to every story. My bankruptcy's legit, but you didn't know, and nor does it say on that bankruptcy that the cause of the bankruptcy was an accident where I broke my neck. They don't tell you that. If they did, you probably never would have brought it up. The domestic violence, if it was reported that she stole almost $100,000 from me, which it's not reported on that report, you probably wouldn't have questioned me about it. You would have understood. But I've had some sketchy situations in my life, and I've overcome the adversity. And I'm standing here as a proud American, a proud father, a family man, a loyalist to my friends and my neighbors, and to you. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And if anything from this interview, you guys should all understand that I have fought my entire life to be right, to do the right thing. I've had bad situations, but I fought it. I didn't give up. And that's why I wanted to do this interview with you tonight, because the truth needs to be told, because in black and white on court documents, it doesn't show everything. And for anybody questioning all my addresses, who cares? We have the freedom of travel in the United States of America. I had the luxury of being a ski instructor when I was younger, and that job only lasts in the wintertime. Then I would move to another state and take on a summer job and then go right back to the mountains in the wintertime. Who cares how many times I've moved? That means absolutely nothing. There's no law that you can violate by moving from one state to another or seeing our great country. None. It's a no issue. But some people are trying to smear my name and make an issue out of something that's not an issue. So I will continue to fight. I will continue to answer these questions. I will continue to be, someone that people can look up to. Hey, I've been in that situation, or I've had a court, wrongfully convict me of this, or I've been in a bad relationship with a girl or a man, and I know what he's talking about. I will continue to be an advocate and a voice for change. And with strength and conviction, we will push forward no matter what.
All right. All right. Amen. Well, there you have it, people. We didn't get to discuss a lot of different other things, but we got plenty of time to have you back on. I definitely want to talk about some other issues. We got more questions. I want to faith and your stance on the Lord and the foundation, the biblical principles and foundations, the Constitution, how you plan to handle corruption. Those are things I want to definitely bring up on a future interview. So if you open to future interview, I definitely like to get you back on because I know it might be some people who still want to hear more. And I think you addressed a lot of concerns tonight, and you helped with me and my view on a lot of things. And I still want to continue the conversation as time progresses. But again, man, thank you very much. And stepping up and not being afraid to answer questions, holding this hour and a half long conversation with me. A lot
Yeah.
of people been asking questions on Facebook during this live stream that I can't see as we do it live. So um, I'll look over that when we wrap up. But again, thank you, and I hope uh, the fight continues to go good for you, and the campaign goes well. And I think you definitely probably the top candidate. You sounding the best. I feel the best about you right now. It's still early. We gonna see how crazy this is. We seen how crazy the last gubernatorial race was when a lot of candidates got disbarred or disqualified off the ballot, which is coming to find out a lot of that was suspect and fishy. We know how it is in Michigan.
Yeah.
It's corrupt top to bottom, and that's something we need to address and have a plan for as well. So again, man, thank you, and I got your website up on the live stream right now, so people can see how to follow. They can know where to go to support you if they
And
choose to.
I just want to say one other thing real quick, and I'll let you close it up. And you know, from the bottom of my heart, I want to tell everyone that's listening that I'm sorry you had to hear these allegations. I am, and I'm gonna try not to get teary eyed because it's hard to talk about things that have gone wrong in your life. We've all had that. We've all been there. It's hard for some of us to open up, but I encourage you to seek the truth before you accept the lies. My phone number is 810-285-2433. If you have concerns or questions, and John Doggett wants to keep running his mouth with all these things, and you want to hear it from the horse's mouth directly, call me. If you get my voicemail, leave me a message and I will get back to you. Please try and understand my schedule is busy, but there's not a call that I have not returned thus far. I will get back to you. I'm sorry you
Can
guys
you
have had to hear all this. It's hard. It's hard, and I just want to apologize that you guys have heard this, and I hope that you will continue to support me in my endeavors because you have no idea how difficult it is to run for office and have your entire name slandered in front of your family, your kids, your friends, and then to have them still step up and tell you they love you and they support you. It's okay. And so with this interview with Logic, I'm hoping that you guys will see the truth as it's been said and that you will continue to support us. And if you're willing and you want to make a contribution, all I'm asking is $1. Go to my website. It's advertised $1. And it helps tremendously because we are going to continue to fight one way or the other. We are going to stay here until August of 2026, and we're going to let the people voice their opinions at the polls and be too big to rig. And if we're successful and we win that primary, there's not a Democrat on the slate that can beat us. And then I will become your next governor, and we will fix this wretched, corrupt state and make it the pure Michigan it once was. We can do that, but we have to do it together.
All right. All right. Sounds good, brother. What was that number one more time?
Area code
81.
810
Mm-hmm.
285 2433. Oh, there's one of the garage doors we fixed in Arkansas after the tornado.
All right. All right, there you have it, folks. Anthony Hudson, candidate for the Michigan governor. All right, brother. I appreciate you, and I will be in touch. And thank you again, and God bless you, brother.
Thank you. God bless you. God bless all of us. And I look forward to meeting each and every one of you on the campaign trail. We're in Clare, Michigan this weekend for the St. Patty's Day parade. If you see us, my truck has my name all over it. Come up and say hi. Shake my hand. Let's take pictures together. Let's meet. If you're in Clare this weekend, I would love to meet you all. So thank you very much, Logic, for having me. We will do this
Up. lost him right after he said that. Lost him right after he said that. But thank y'all for sticking around and tuning in. I think this was a very good interview. He answered a lot of questions. I got a lot more questions, but he cleared up a lot of concern that I do have. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's still more questions that other people have and that I have as well. But I think this is on the right track to honesty and transparency, and not running from the truth, but addressing it head on. Thank you to everybody who been sending in video or questions. Thank you to everybody who doing their homework and scrutinizing these candidates. We might not get it right every time. We might ask some stuff, or we might be under certain impressions and have questions that they can answer and ease our concern or squash it altogether. So we got our work cut out ahead of us. It's our job to do this homework, to research, to ask questions, to follow the money, to not fall for the okey doke. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the time, these candidates come up here, they know what we want to hear, so they get prepped and prepared on all these things to say, and they just come out here, nice suit and tie, nice dress, nice smile, nice makeup, nice big words, and we just like, we just don't fell for it so much. Oh, I stand for lowering taxes too. He's my candidate. No, no, we have to do more than just agree with their words. The Bible say, don't believe what people say. Look into their actions. Look into their fruits. And if you got a long criminal, if you got a long rap sheet, a long history, a past like me and everybody else, people gonna have some stuff they gonna have questions. You look into my criminal, you look at my police record. You're gonna be like, hold on, man. On page 18, no, I'm just playing. Man, growing up without a dad in this chaotic world that the devil got a hold of, it'd be hard for all of us. So, um, navigating through and making it uh through Christ, through the Lord, man, having the Lord in my life as a young child made all the difference. The prisons are full of people who didn't know Christ or who didn't wake up to Satan's deception. But that's a whole nother story. We know how it is, you know. We can scrutinize and ask questions and dig deeper beyond the words. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And if we get something wrong, that's a part of trying to get stuff right. So share this out. If y'all got any questions, any feedback, shout out to everybody who tuned in. I was looking on Facebook, man. There's tons of comments on the video, but I don't know how to get it to pop up on my live stream. So I know a lot of people was typing in 268 comments on the live stream on Facebook. I ain't get to address none of them really, because I didn't know if I could look at them real time. But we gonna continue to follow up with more interviews. I'm gonna compile a list of the questions that I didn't get to ask, mixed with questions that's gonna continue to come in. I'm sure more people gonna have more questions. A lot of people might appreciate the way this interview went and how it was full of information and head on questions. So we gonna keep doing what we do. Y'all know how we do here on Logic's View. This ain't our first rodeo. So we gonna wrap it up for now. I think this was a informative and productive interview, and we want to keep them coming. I want to interview more candidates. Some people gonna be scared to come on here because they know how I do. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna get to the bottom. It ain't no softball Joe Biden questions over here. We gonna ask uncomfortable questions. But I do gotta, yeah. There's some videos out there. People working hard, and whether people are true in their work or paid operatives, we gonna get to the bottom of it. We gonna get to the bottom. I know that Martin Luther King video. I seen that earlier today, and I'm literally like, that literally rubbed me extremely wrong. So I wanted to make sure to ask him about that. And his answer was sufficient and made sense and lined up. I still got questions. I'm gonna tell you like that. I still got questions. I scrutinize everybody, even Trump. I got a lot of questions for Trump. And y'all know I've been supporting him for 9 years, hardcore. So it's our job, and if they ain't got nothing to hide, they shouldn't be worried about it. If they do got something to hide, you better worry, because we gonna sniff it out. You see, I got a big nose too. I'm gonna smell it. Oh, God bless y'all. Love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning back in once again for another episode of Logic. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, please like, share, drop comments, and even prayer requests down below. And also subscribe so you can stay notified each and every time our weekly content is uploaded. We got these algorithms to fight too. So when you share and like and comment and help us, we trying to be one of Michigan's most trusted and credible news sources. Check out the website, logicsview.com. No C, only a K in there. Y'all know. God bless y'all. Thank y'all. We out of here. Peace.